hello, and welcome to episode 12 of That's One of My Favorites, starring me, Samara,
And I'm Emily.
and that's Emily. And today we are doing the last 5 years, which I actually didn't know anything about this at all.
I had no nothing.
And upon watching it and looking at it, there's not a whole lot to talk about necessarily,
Hmm.
other than, our reactions and stuff like that. But, like, as far as background and things like that, there's not a whole lot to really talk about. But I feel like this is one of those ones that, unless you are a theater kid and unless you are a devout Broadway musical connoisseur,
Hmm.
this is going to fly under your radar.
Yeah, and I think I've heard bits and pieces of it on like TikTok or Reels and stuff,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I had never noticed that before, or knew what it was from.
No.
I remember when it came out that I was like, "Oh, there's a new Anna Kendrick musical," but I'd never like it was never on my list to watch, and I didn't hate it. Like it's not my favorite. There's some songs that get stuck in my head
So I had never
for
heard.
hours on end.
Oh, yeah, no. I hadn't heard anything about it ever. I did hear, so our friend Jeanette from college,
Hmm.
for either her junior showcase or her senior showcase, which it wouldn't have been a senior showcase because she would, for one of her showcases, she did Jamie, the first song.
I'm
Jamie is
still
da 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 da.
still hurting. The song that
Yeah,
gets stuck
still
in my
hurting.
head all the time.
Yeah. So I had heard it then, and that was the only thing. And then also, like you said, the TikTok song. The one that I saw the most was "You Know What Makes You Crazy." You know what makes you rah, like that.
Yeah, that's at the end of See I'm Smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that had been popular for TikTok or whatever, but I
Hmm.
hadn't heard anything. I didn't know anything about it, and I watched it completely blind before I researched anything about it or looked into
I did
anything about
too.
it, and I was confused.
I was slightly confused, um, but then realized that it was like back and forth between present and future. But I think what you're getting at is after you researched it, it's on
Yeah,
purpose. Yeah,
it
because
is.
his storyline is told in a normal time frame, and
Yes.
Kathy's
Mm-hmm.
storyline is
Backwards.
reverse.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you saw the same thing as me, but they did that on the stage version on purpose,
So
which I thought was really cool.
I immediately went to go find a slime tutorial, which,
Hmm.
like, we can talk about the ethics of that another time. I immediately went to go find a slime tutorial on YouTube and found one, and they are never on stage until the wedding,
Hmm.
and then they're never on stage together. And I reached out to Jeanette and was just like, haha, I miss you. Like, this made me think of you or whatever. But we got to talking about it. I was like, this is my new nightmare role. Like, you talk about dream roles. This is my nightmare role. They sing,
Nonstop.
it's just two of them.
Hmm.
And they literally sing. You maybe get like a 6 minute break.
That I
No.
don't. Is there any actual talking other than like when
In
he's in like the producer or not producer or his publicist office or something like that? And he's like, "Nice to meet you. Thanks so much. I've never been up this high in this building.
in the
Like it's
slime
beautiful."
tutorial, the only time that I really saw, and I mean, I kind of like took through it. The only time there was quote unquote talking that I saw was when he was reading the excerpt from his book.
Mm. But Jamie and Kathy always sing like in
Yeah.
communication. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know that this film was shot in like a total of 21 days,
Yeah,
and
it
the
was
last
21
shooting day
days.
was it says goodbye until tomorrow, and it was shot entirely in New York, Brooklyn, and Staten Island,
Yeah.
even though
And,
Ohio bits.
well, yeah. I also didn't understand why she was in Ohio or how that works. I don't know anything about.
what I grasp is that they're from Ohio and they met in Ohio, and they both, like, she's a struggling actress, right? So she's wanting to make it big in New York. Well, anytime he has something to do with his book, it's in New York. So she moved, I read something, she moved to New York and she was living there when she first met Jamie. And that's when he was like, "Wait, I'm going to move in with you," at the beginning of the thing, once he got like his book signed,
Oh, see,
because she had an apartment in New York.
I, my understanding of it, and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
I deep dove. There's not really any information. So, my understanding of it was, and there's also like no corrections or anything. My understanding of it was that she moved to New York after her. They talk about it in one of the songs. The girl gets pregnant. She thinks she can
Mhm.
do better.
Mhm.
So she moves to New York, and then they meet while they're in New York.
Mhm.
And then after they start dating, and he gets like a little bit of traction, that's when they move together. But they're already in New York. I didn't get that
Yeah.
they were from Ohio at all. My understanding of it was that, and again, I might be wrong. My thought was she just got a leading role in Ohio, and therefore just
But she keeps going back to Ohio when she doesn't have a job. Like, I don't
well,
know.
I think it's because she's established there. They know
Yeah.
her. What
Like,
is
she's
it?
trying to make it big in New York.
There's some movie quote or even a musical quote that's like "You're the prettiest girl," or some show quote that's like "You're the prettiest girl from the middle of nowhere," like, and there's like that phrase. It's like I'm a Florida 10, but a New York 6 or something like that. I don't know. That's what it made me think of. Was she is a really good actress in Ohio.
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, Speaking of really good actress, I don't particularly care for Anna Kendrick all that much.
I think her acting is stronger than her singing. Like, she's a pretty good singer. Like, um every time she hit a certain note, though, I kept thinking Into the Woods. Like, I hear her in Into the Woods.
This is gonna sound really weird, but like, and this is the way that I feel about myself sometimes. When she's singing, I hear Anna Kendrick,
Yeah.
and you're like, well, yeah, obviously, like when Ariana Grande is singing, you hear Ariana Grande. No, no, no. I hear not Anna Kendrick singing. I hear Anna Kendrick talking loudly, melodically, or whatever the word is.
Yeah. I
And
can, yeah.
like Rex Harrison, but not.
Yeah. I don't know. I
um,
I was when I first started watching it, and like the very first song is Still Hurting.
mm,
I was kind of sucked in because I was like, "Oh God, this is about to be sad."
like what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, it's just Kathy. She's sitting alone and she's singing, "I'm Still Hurting," and one of the lines is, the very first line you hear is, "Jamie is over and Jamie is gone. Jamie's decided it's time to move on. Jamie has a
Oh,
new dream he's building upon, and I'm still hurting." And I was like, "Oh God!" Like, any girl who has ever, like, even married or not, has ever had their heart broken, I was like, ugh,
yeah.
ugh. That was so
Um,
sad.
it sucks. So it stars Jeremy Jordan and Anna Kendrick,
Hmm.
and it was written by what's his name, Robert.
I
No,
don't know how to say his
Jason
last name.
Robert Brown. Jason Robert Brown. It
Yeah.
was written by Jason Robert Brown about his own divorce or failing marriage.
Hmm.
And the woman that he divorced, her name was I think believe it's Teresa O'Neill, but Miss O'Neill was like, no, and she sued the crap out of him for um something along the lines of airing marital grievances for public whatever. and he sued the crap out of her for overstepping on creative processing or whatever. But what he ended up doing as a compromise, quote unquote, was instead of Kathy being referenced as Irish Catholic, they took that out.
Hmm.
So that it wasn't it it's not about you. Could you imagine like living your life divorcing somebody like and then being like, "Oh, by the way, there's a new musical and it's
It's about
it's
our
it's
divorce.
it's starring somebody called Memily and and Bick and Bick and Memily are going through divorce like
You're like, that's a little
and
too
and their dog
close.
Apollo. It's from the perspective of Apollo.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'd be
That, yeah.
so angry.
I would be too. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I
Um,
mean, I kind of don't blame her, but at the same time, I'm like, he didn't use your name.
yeah, and I mean, I think I'm all for life imitating art or art imitating life, but again, like Memily. This is Amara and Daniel's divorce. Like, um, oh my goodness. So it's starring Anna Kendrick and Jeremy Jordan, who I feel like I don't know if you've noticed. I feel like we're in like a Jeremy Jordan Renaissance era right now.
What else is
Isn't
he
he
in?
doing? Didn't he just sign on for like he did Little Shop of Horrors? He did if I'm
Supposed to say
not
I
mistaken.
recognized him, but I couldn't pinpoint what else he was in.
Oh yeah, so he took over the Seymour. He did Seymour for okay, I got it now. I remember. So he was the a role for. Do you remember The Greatest Showman?
Mm-hmm.
He was Zac Efron's character up until like 2 days before casting,
Oh,
or
geez.
not
Can you
until 2 days
imagine?
before
Sorry,
casting,
you're cut. We've got we've
like
got Zac
two
Efron.
days before filming, and then they brought in Zac Efron. Like there are all that you can like all those like this is me look out because all like the backstage readings, Jeremy freaking Jordan, not Zac Efron, which is why you don't see Zac Efron in the backstage. All those really nice things.
Didn't like Disney do that to somebody else with Zac
Hmm.
Efron for High School Musical?
Oh no, he was dubbed in High School Musical #1,
Yes, I knew that.
and then he was not dubbed
It
for
was
the
the
rest of it.
guy. It was that guy that was in another Cinderella story.
Chad,
What's his name?
not Chad Michael Murray.
No, no, another,
Hmm.
no, the one with Selena Gomez.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
Oh, it's a pretty good one, but he's the one that sang for Zac Efron.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Um, so that was like the first time I had ever heard of him,
Okay.
and then he ended up doing um the revival of. That's the next time I heard about him was the revival of Little Shop of Horrors, and now he took over, and now he's doing The Great Gatsby. Like he's just kind of like having a moment. He's on a lot of like Broadway thirst trappy type
Mm.
of edits. But I feel like I keep hearing his name popping up now, and I'm like, okay, Jeremy, good job.
I mean, he's a good singer,
Hmm.
so
Um,
he's a good actor too. Like
he's in a
I
lot
could
of
see it.
Hallmark movies apparently now too, which I could see that he has a very Hallmarky face.
He does. He's good looking.
He's very cute, and I thought he did a really good job in this.
Hmm.
I thought I thought they had good chemistry and everything like that. Like I said, Anna Kendrick is not my favorite, but like credit where credit is due. I was, whoa, when she started that. You know what makes you crazy? I was like, what makes you crazy, girl? What?
You know what makes me crazy? I'm sorry. Can I say this? I was like, just let it out. Just let it
Okay.
out.
So there's some
Yeah.
time jumping for sure that's gonna make this a little bit difficult to stick to.
Yeah. Well, and like we said before, we were both kind of confused while watching it, but it made a whole heck of a lot more sense knowing that they're like flip flopped. And now that I know that, it's easier for me to like commit, carm, what's the word I'm looking for?
Caramelized?
Yes, in my
Yeah.
brain.
I would love, and I'm sure somebody has done it. I would love to see them side by side, not side by side together, but like
Like
Jeremy's
in
song.
chronological order.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Jamie, Kathy, same. Jamie, Kathy, same. Jamie, like I
Yeah,
would
because
love
it
to
would
see it
be
both.
like the Shishka goddess, and then um, what's her last song? Goodbye until tomorrow.
Goodbye until tomorrow. Yeah,
Yeah, because that
I'm sure somebody has done
we
it.
can get to that probably. Because
I remember.
her first song would switch and say goodbye until tomorrow because that's supposed to be right after their first date.
Yeah, I remember. There's a music video that I loved, and it was all backwards. And then somebody like forwarded it, and I was like, aha! Like, thank you, my brain. And I found it like 3 years later, and I was like, yes, I can finally understand what's happening. My brain just doesn't work. I mean, maybe other people's does, but my brain doesn't work like that. I would, again, the slime tutorial was nice. I would be interesting. I would love to see the show in a
Mm-hmm.
very small, comfy, cozy theater,
Mm-hmm.
pitch black, like velvet curtains all over. There's no color, and you just walk in, and then you sit down. Like that's what I would love to see. Give me the ambiance.
It definitely needs to be a more intimate like setting for this type of show, and almost bring tissues because I feel like I would cry if I saw it on stage.
I just feel like that almost weirdly enough by adding the people and putting them together it took away something.
Yeah, but I can understand why they did it because it would be even more confusing if they were never together until like in I noticed that in the I'm Still Hurting that there were pictures like before we even knew much of the plot. They scan over pictures of their life and kind of pause on their wedding picture.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know.
I was confused during I'm Still Hurting why she was taking off random pieces of jewelry. But then as you later see, like he's giving
Mm-hmm.
them to her at different times of life, which was I
Mm-hmm.
thought was really interesting because I was like, it's a watch, it's a bracelet, it's like 4 or 5 rings. Like it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
just her wedding, and it turns out like these are all right. These are all really significant times.
Yeah.
Um, so I, and then the next song again, you go from this somber. I mean, like you're immediately transported into this somber moment into. I mean, Shiska Goddess.
Yeah.
My only real comment was don't name all of your ex-girlfriends while you're trying to seduce them.
Yes. Oh my God. I thought the same thing. I was like, there's like another movie or song or something that, oh, Mary Poppins. Like
What?
he goes through, he's like, somebody's nice, such and such and such, such is nice, but the cream of the crop, the tip of the top is Mary Poppins, and there we stop.
I never noticed that.
It's with the penguins. Like they're not exes of his. They're just saying like other nice women. They list them
Oh,
off, and then like the very last one is like Mary Poppins is like top of the top. But I don't know why that made it pop into my head. But I was also thinking, man, like you're trying to seduce and get with
I mean, who's
this
in her
who
bed
you're
though?
calling a goddess, and then like
Uh,
list all of the people he's gone through. And did you notice that the majority of them are like because he's Jewish, right?
yeah.
Because he says, "I'm breaking my mother's heart." I want to say like the majority of the women that he listed were women that his mother would want to see him with because they're
Yeah, I mean, there was a straight stoner though. I think that he was
that's true.
I don't I think he was just maybe not 100% sure. I noticed, I have a note too. I feel like there's lots of Jewish culture or Jewish musical or Jewish identity issues in a lot of Broadway shows.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed? I mean, I was like off the top of my head, I was like, Funny Girl, Fiddler on the Roof might be cheating, but Fiddler on the Roof, Little Shop of Horrors, even he's Jewish. He's Mr. Mushnick, and this one, they're Jewish. Like, I feel like that's a really big topic.
Funny Girl may be that way because of Barbara herself, though.
Yeah, but I
Was she
mean,
the
was
original
Funny
cast of
Girl?
that?
Hmm.
Was she the original cast of Funny Girl?
That's what I was trying to look up. Funny Girl original
Because one of the
cast.
jokes is about her nose, so I didn't know for sure.
Who was the original star of Funny Girl? Barbara Streisand.
So maybe some of those jokes and Jewish things were put in there because of Babs. I don't know. But no, I mean, Fiddler on the Roof might be cheating because it literally is like a Jewish show.
There's many. I mean, I wish I had looked into it a little bit more, and I meant to. Um, and I guess I didn't think that I was onto something also, because there's apparently a documentary about it. There's many articles. I just typed in Jewish culture in Hollywood, or not Hollywood, in Broadway. Um, and there's tons of things. So we might just have to do a whole comeback. But it says that there's tons of writers, just off the cusp, just off the one little article that I'm reading. It says there's tons of Broadway writers that are Jewish, and they're like a quiet minority almost, or quiet majority. Like, it's very interesting. I'll have to look into that. But I just noticed I was like, I feel like there's a lot of Jewish culture and Jewish takes, and like, and maybe I'm in the wrong, but like I don't know a lot of Jewish people in real life, or not in real life, obviously in real life. In my life, I actually don't know any Jewish people.
I know a handful, like one or two, but not that many. No.
Yeah, well, because I mean, people always complain about media and representation about certain type of people, and so I was just like, well, I mean, I know actually multiple different identity people, but I actually don't know anybody who's Jewish. So I need to go find someone. I have questions about Broadway. Please answer me.
I've never like thought about that before, but now that you say that, there are quite a few.
Oh yeah, no, we
Even in
definitely.
Hollywood, because like Glee, there were two Jewish people on Glee,
Well, and see, part of
character
me was,
wise.
part of me, and this is again, this is just me riffing because I don't, we apparently could talk about this for a very long time. Like, there's apparently lots of research, but I guess New York has a really big Jewish community and a lot of ties to the Jewish community and the Jewish culture. So
When you said there's a lot of writers that are Jewish, so then they're gonna make somebody that's their religion, maybe.
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. That is a really interesting rabbit hole that I
Yeah.
want to go down now. I might Daniel would be like, "What are you doing?" I'd be like, I have to find out about the Jewish culture. Ah,
Researching.
I need to know. If you are of Jewish culture or Jewish descent, email us at oneofmyfaves@gmail.com and
Yes,
let us
please.
know why you think there's a connection other than just geographically with New York.
Hmm.
And we'd love to talk to you. I clearly apparently need more Jewish influence in my life, so um so the next song is the Still Smiling song,
Uh-huh.
which, like, that broke my heart more than the first song. Because she's like, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be fine. And I was like, huh, huh, huh.
Yeah, I have notes on this song. It's Kathy and Jamie are in Ohio,
Hmm.
and it's her birthday, and he has come home to visit
She's supposed
her
to
because
see
she's
her.
working at a community theater.
Yeah.
Um, she's anxious to fix problems within their marriage, but then becomes angry with Jamie because he's going back early to go back to New York.
Oh.
And she thinks that he's too fixated on his work and doesn't care about spending enough time with her. So it goes from like the see, I'm smiling, see, you're smiling, we can fix this, like that type of, and then it's like, all heck breaks loose and she like just goes berserk on him.
I
And she
don't
needed to.
know. Oh yeah, no. Okay. In that situation, Kathy is on the money. I am on Team Kathy. I don't know whose side I'm on.
I don't either. Like, I want to lean towards Kathy's side, but there are tendencies, and we can get into this later, where she does seem jealous of his popularity. But when you see at the beginning, she's there for him like all the time, like at every event and all this stuff. But he ignores her. And there's also songs down the road that makes me not want to be on his side. But
Well, I mean,
I
okay,
kind of lean
okay.
towards her.
The yes, uh huh. Absolutely, like that is the end all be all for me. Like, well, and well, again, we're gonna get to it. That is the end all be all for me. And in no way, no matter what marriage problems you're going for, that does not. That does not. Okay. Anyway, anyway,
Yes.
anyway.
Yes.
So
We'll get there.
we'll get there. That song though, like I wanted to go fight Daniel. When we went, like I
And
was like,
Daniel would be like,
oh,
"What did I
you know what I should do? I
do?"
should pick a fight. I should pick a fight. Like
Yeah.
this is so good. I love that song
Yeah, as
so
soon as
much.
she starts like going, you know what drives me crazy? Can I
Sorry,
say
can I say
this?
this?
Yeah, and then just
Be here for me on my freaking birthday.
yeah.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
for it though. I was like, you tell him, rip him apart, because he's going to this party. He goes to all the party. That's my thing. Like, okay, point one for Kathy. He goes to all of the parties. They're the same parties.
Hmm.
I understand that. Yes, you need to do
But
marketing.
like
You need to do
as
networking.
as somebody who has a publicist, why the heck was it scheduled anything remotely scheduled on her birthday or around her birthday? Like that should be blacked
Well,
out
it
on a
was
calendar.
apparently last minute though. And I mean,
That
that's
should
not
still be
to
blacked out
say,
on a calendar.
oh yes, absolutely. But I mean, like he didn't even like, hey, you need to come to this. No, I don't. I'm in Ohio. Like he didn't do that. Like he didn't even like,
Yeah.
no, he, rah. Ugh,
He never like tried to get out of it. He was going regardless.
yeah. It, that is score one for Kathy for me.
Yeah.
It was her
Check.
birthday. It was her
Yeah.
show. He should have seen her. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I
the end of that
really,
song also gutted me though.
which one? Where
The
what
end
part?
of See I'm Smiling, it's like how can you stand there straight and tall and see I'm crying and still do nothing at all?
That's.
And then he
I'm
still doesn't say anything after she says that and she just walks off. Like
Well, they don't talk. They don't interact. So I mean that.
but
And
still
then
he didn't
again,
sing
here's
anything at her either.
and that's where you go. That's where you go. They're not like that's. They're not together artistically on stage. So
Mhm.
they can't interact on stage.
That's true.
And like what would have the response? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the response was because it was her perspective, and also in this case, he's wrong. Like I don't care what
This
he
is
has to
true.
say. He's wrong.
This is true. I
Um,
still was like, God, ouch.
yeah. I there her in particular her well, she was not established well her career for me for
Hmm.
a minute. Like I was like, is she a director? Is she also a writer? She's an actress.
She's an actress. Hmm.
She's a Broadway wannabe actress.
Hmm.
Um
And she makes a lot of her own clothes.
Yeah, she kind of reminds she reminds me of me, in the sense that my hobby is hobbies.
Uh-huh.
So like it's like she has a photography, she has a camera, she
Uh-huh.
does clothes, she does acting, she does singing, she does all like she just seems like, and I wonder if part of that is the problem. Like it's the jack of all trades, master of none, which yes
Mm-hmm.
is better than jack of none, but like, or whatever the end of the phrase is. Um, but I also wonder if that's part of the problem too. Is she's not focused, or maybe she is. They both don't really
Well,
seem focused.
she kind of goes into it a little bit in one of her songs. She's like, "These girls are skinnier than me and younger than me." And I'm like obviously no longer in my prime.
Yeah. Which
So,
I'm like, I'm sorry. What are you and how old are you? I'm
I think towards the end they're like in their late 20s, like
I'm
at the end
so
of their
glad they didn't
relationship.
have a kid. I kept thinking that. I was like, for the love of God, if they have a rescue baby or a savior baby, I'm going to throw the TV out. But they
I
didn't.
was thinking the same thing too because
Spoiler,
in
they
another
didn't.
line she said, "How is he gonna? What is he gonna be like if we have kids?" And I was like, "Don't."
I kept waiting, and I was like, no,
Mm.
no, no. Um, yeah. So she's an actress. Excuse me.
You're gonna get me started.
Sorry. She's an actress. She's not getting very good part, or she's not getting any part. She's not getting any traction, which, like, but she keeps going after it, which is good. Um, but I don't know if artists people. I have this written here. Is like, can artists like truly artistic? I think truly artistic people either will fail or they will succeed, but there's no. I almost feel like you have to have one person who's not on the ground and one person who is. And they both don't seem on the ground to me. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does. Like somebody needs to be rooted and like complacent with their life, right? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
well, not even complacent, because it's really hard when somebody's not happy and you're
Right.
happy. Like if you've ever been like in a roommate situation or even in a relationship where somebody like you're like, "Oh my gosh, I did this really good thing." And they're like, "That sucks. The world's dying." It's like, "Okay, thanks."
Yeah.
I just feel like they both want to succeed in these lofty, like, one in a million fields.
Hmm.
And I think you either have to be really happy and okay with like being dirt poor while you're doing that, and like living within your means and living with what you want, or you have to be well established with like, you're the person who's doing that and I'm here to support you.
Yeah, and I
And
think it's
they both don't
it
seem to be there.
no, and it's hard because Jamie wants her to be supportive, but he also or Kathy also wants to be supported because she's not as successful, you know?
Jamie, I don't know what to call Jamie, but he will take down, and everything is calculated. Every move he makes is calculated, in my opinion. This is
Hmm.
there's a couple lines that like every move that he makes is calculated. Everything, and I think he would kill his own mother to get a book deal.
Probably.
Like
Well, he only moved in with her after he got a book deal.
I
Like that immediately was like red flag, red flag, red flag
Yeah,
to
I
me.
I feel like he was like, I'm going to be New York Times bestseller, and it does not matter if I have to kill 1,000 babies to get there. I will. Like, we'll get there. There's a line that he says specifically that I was like, "Sir,
Excuse? Yeah.
sir."
Excuse?
And then but I I don't know that like she accepted that role willingly. Like I don't think she knew because I think that you can do that. I think that you can be like the supportive, like woohoo, go, yeah, woohoo,
Well,
husband,
I think
yes,
we kind of see in the song a part of that. Like she's going to multiple functions of Jamie's success, and she sings that how he's ignoring her,
yeah,
but she will always love him, and his success is her success because she's a part of that.
yeah. And I don't think she did that willingly though. I don't think that was
No,
a
I think
willing
she just
transaction.
wanted to be a part of it because that's how she could still be with
Well,
Jamie.
yeah, I mean, you love your partner, you support your partner. I mean, we talk about, like Daniel, like he's like, if I have to move somewhere, I'm like, yep, we'll move somewhere. Is it gonna suck? Is it gonna be hard? Absolutely. But I love you and support you. And the same
Right.
thing with me when I'm like, hey, I stay at home and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go do XYZ with my girlfriends, or I need to do XYZ for the betterment of our house. He's like, yeah, I love you. I support you. You know, it, so I think that you have to,
Well, there's
there
give
is
and take,
that.
and there was no give and take in their
There was
relationship.
no give and take at
Yeah.
all. And I think it gets, I think it gets like, she starts realizing, which sucks. That's a point for Kathy of like, hey, he's a taker. But
Hmm.
then there needs to be like communication, and there needs to be like whatever. When she opened the book and it was just to Kathy, I was like,
Yeah, the dedication for Kathy. That's it.
poor Kathy.
That's all it said. I want to
And
know, like, when they first got together, if the dedications were longer, because they never showed, like, for my loving partner, for my blah, blah, blah. Like, they never showed, like, his other book dedications. It's just that one
how
that
many
she
books
was
do you think he
reading.
wrote?
I want to say, like, at least three or four, but they never
I
say.
I only thought that he wrote like the one. Like well, it's 5 years.
It's
I don't
5 years,
know.
and he keeps going to all these publication things, so that makes me think that every time they go
Oh
to a
yeah,
party, it's almost like a book launch.
that's valid. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's what makes me think that, it's
It's multiple
these
books.
parties are book launches, are publicist fueled parties,
Hmm.
because she's reading the dedication of a book, of like a copy of a book
Like a manuscript.
later on in their, yeah, a
Yeah.
manuscript later on in their, like towards the end almost of their
Well,
relationship.
it's during I'm a part of that because she's like, I'm a part of that, aren't I? Like she's starting to
Which,
kind of
yeah,
realize
which
that
is towards
she's
the
not.
beginning of the movie, meaning it's
Yeah,
towards the end of their
end of
relationship
their
because
relationship.
hers
Yeah.
is backwards.
Oh, valid. I can't do that. I can't. That hurts my head.
Anytime
Ah,
Kathy sings, if it's in the beginning of the book, then it's the end of their relation, or
yeah.
the movie, it's the end of their relationship.
You're right.
So
Yeah, I think.
I would want to see the dedications from his previous books from when they first got together to see if they were like more lovey dovey.
Well, if that's the case, then the whole dress argument and the whole okay. Okay, all right. I'm picking up,
We'll
putting
get to
down.
that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just made you mad all over again.
I hate. I'm telling you, I wanted to throw up. Um,
For those of you that didn't know, she sent me, I was like, how are you liking the movie so far? She sent me a gif of like,
I think I said I'm watching Last 5 Years. Jamie, bleh, bleh,
there's flames on the
this,
side of my face.
on the front of my face, flames, rage.
Yeah.
Um, so she gets the role in Ohio,
Mhm.
and that was really cute. I liked that. Made me laugh. That whole little scene about like, I could, I would rather eat 1,000 bugs and blah 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 than summer in Ohio. Like
Oh,
it was
Summer and I have, yeah.
that
Because
made
that
me
was
laugh.
before, sorry, that was after the Shmuel song where he was trying to like
He was
make
telling
her
her the
happy or
story.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was telling her the story after she had had a hard day. She's bartending while he's writing. While he's writing, she's bartending, which is not what a good partner does. Unless he was also bartending and we just don't care in that moment, I need to
No,
know if
I
he was
don't think he was because he would like sit in a corner and like stare off into the abyss while he was trying to write.
That's
Which
again
there
where
was a
I
cute little
go,
moment of her taking a picture, like,
she
eh, but
smiles,
still, yeah,
and I'm a part of that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm having a hard time keeping all the timelines.
I mean, the only reason I have it is because I have it in order beside me.
Oh,
um,
well,
but
uh,
there's a fun fact from the Shmuel song. I just gotta find it.
hmm,
The
I
the
shouldn't have brought this
pink
textbook
dress
over.
that Kathy is wearing in the next 10 minutes, which we can get to, which is the proposal song,
Hmm.
uh, is the unfinished dress on the mannequin during the Shmuel song.
Oh,
So you
okay.
see, like, because he's messing with one of her mannequins, and it's an unfinished, like, pinkish coral
Hmm.
dress. Fast forward
Cute.
when we get to the proposal song, which is after a summer in Ohio, so we're almost there. She's
Okay,
wearing that dress.
so the hesitation in the proposal, the non-hesitation hesitation,
Yeah.
I think it was a hesitation, and I think it should have been a hesitation. How do you interpret that? Like,
I'm trying to think of the words that she said, but she does say something that I was like, does that mean you really don't want to marry him? But at that point in the timeline, are they struggling in their relationship?
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying like I need it differently together so I know where they are.
Well, let's see. Let's go backwards. The first song she sings is Goodbye Until Tomorrow, right?
Mhm.
And then she sings I Can Do Better Than That when he
Mhm.
meets her parents.
Mhm.
And then that's when a miracle would happen and when you come home to me, because she's in Ohio trying to get the part,
Mhm.
and then they get engaged. So I don't think they're struggling, other than the fact that she's never been in a successful relationship before.
Yeah, I there's a hesitation and
I do
I
definitely hear the hesitation though.
there's a hesitation and I'm like that you should have run, but then she
Is
talks
that
about
supposed to be
how
foreshadowing?
I think maybe that's why I'm trying to think of like what like they're struggling because she's in Ohio, I'm assuming. But
Mm.
anyway, so she says yes. And then again, I was so confused by the timeline because I'm like, why are they in the park? And she's so like he's so unhappy and he just ignores her. Because the next song that he's about to do before they get, he's like they're in the park and he's just ignoring her.
Oh, yeah, when they're
And
talking
it's
about the
the
different
same
trees and
setup.
stuff.
She's yeah.
Yeah, that's climbing
Um,
uphill. Yeah.
yeah, I was lost during that because I was like, they just got married. What happened? Or they just got proposed. What happened? And then he starts in a perfect world, and this so gross to me. He talks about how everyone said once you get that wedding ring, you're going to be catnip to the girls, but you can't touch them. But in a perfect world, you could. This is why I
That entire
say,
song, I was sitting here going,
yeah, no. This is where I am like, yeah, absolutely. We leave cheaters. I I don't care. I don't care. We leave cheaters. Bye bye.
mm-hmm.
Goodbye. I don't care. Like could not be me. Could not be me. And maybe I'll have to answer to Jesus one day about it, but not could not be me. Um, but he talks about how he wants other women,
Mm-hmm.
and he obviously towards at the end of the song, he starts cheating. He's going to cheat,
Yep.
which is gross. Her
Yep.
hair suddenly looked yellow.
Yeah, the hair transitions, I mean, I know they were trying to make it like look different
Time
times, but
frames.
it threw me off too. Yeah.
Her hair looked super yellow during her audition song. And her audition song was super cute. I loved it.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
made
that
me
was really
laugh.
cute. Like,
Should I
guys,
sing
you want
louder?
to hear
Don't look
my
at these
resume?
shoes. I hate these shoes. Why did I wear these shoes?
Ah. um. Okay. So whoa, this song that wow, he made some excellent points, but also he made some like GTFO points, like I'm gonna punch you in the throat points.
Are you talking about the song If I Didn't Believe in You?
Yes.
Yeah.
First of all, he outright says, if I didn't believe in you, I wouldn't have gotten married to you.
No.
No. If I didn't believe that you would succeed, I wouldn't have gotten married to you.
Yeah.
What? That's not the basis of a marriage. That's the basis of a step by step crazy psycho plan.
Yeah.
Hmm? I think it's like if I'm
Yeah.
cheering
What
on your
made me
side,
mad
I
is that he just flat out was like, you don't support me. Like, you're jealous of me. And I was like, she's been to every single, like,
if
publishing,
I'm
like,
cheering by your
thing, and she
side,
doesn't want
why
to go
can't
to
you
one.
support mine? I was like, excuse
Yeah.
the heck out of me.
Because she
She
doesn't
was
want to go to
bartending.
one.
She was bartending. She doesn't want to go to a single event. And like an adult, she outright told you why. She
Yeah.
said, hey, like, no. But I
Because you
did
ignore
like,
me anyways.
yeah, because you ignore me, which, is a problem and is whatever. But I did find the valid point of I will not fail, so you will be comfortable. I won't fail because you can't win. That was valid. In my book,
Yeah.
that was a point towards Jamie because you can't be mad because your partner's succeeding. You can be upset, you can be like whatever, but like you have to support them.
Yeah.
If you love them, support them. You can't
And
be
I
outright.
do think there were tendencies of her getting jealous, but she was
Oh
always
yeah.
there supporting him. And I
I think
don't
she
think
was
that,
totally
like,
jealous.
it's a valid question, but I don't think he should have blown up like that and made it all about that. The reason she's not going is because she's jealous. No, the reason she's not going is because she always goes. She's always supportive. You won't support her. She doesn't want to go and spend time with these people, spend time with your little girlfriends that
Yeah.
you're flirting with while she's off in a corner, little Miss Nobody, who they always ask who she is. Like, how's it going? Who are you? Like, I'm his wife.
Yeah.
I've been here for 5 years. Like,
The whole time. Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't like that, but I did find that point valid of I'm not going to fail just so you'll be comfortable or to make you feel better.
right.
Like, yes, I hear you, sir, and you are correct and you are valid, but like at the same time you don't go falling into someone else's bed. Ugh.
Oh,
Multiple people.
jeez. Multiple, including your publicist.
Yeah. Um so I liked in Do Better though. She says, you, and nothing but you, marvelous, glorious you,"
Hmm.
which was the same as you, wonderful you, the savior of writing. I loved that. I was like, oh, yes, get him.
The savior of writing, only at 28. Yeah,
Only at 28. Oh, yeah. Just 28. So they're 28 years old. Got it. Okay.
yeah,
We're smart. We get the confirmation that he's cheating on multiple women, and he is all like, "Whoa, the anxiety of getting caught. Whoa, the anxiety of living up to this. Whoa, the anxiety." Sure, sir. No, no,
yeah.
get out of my face. I was furious that he leaves. He leaves. He leaves.
Listen
No,
carefully. In a letter.
in a letter. In a
In a
letter.
letter.
While she's in Ohio.
Like, she comes back to find the letter. that he's left, he's closed their bank account, and he had Elise, of all people, his publicist or book editor or whatever she is, who he's cheated with, help him pack up his stuff.
Oh, I
Yeah,
was
I
just
was
mad that
seeing red.
he left. That he was the one who was like, this marriage is a good.
That goes back to like the lyrics that I read at the very beginning. Jamie is over and Jamie is gone. Jamie's decided it's time to move on. Jamie has a new dream he's building upon, and I'm still hurting.
I did in the song "Still Smiling" when she talks about therapists and she talks about like I do feel like Kathy was working towards it. I don't want to only blame Jamie because I do think that again there was some jealousy issues, there were some whatever, but I think the majority of points stack against Jamie in my book,
No,
and I
I would
don't
agree.
feel
And
like
I don't
Kathy
think it's
did
like a
a great thing.
female, I don't
Yeah,
think it's like because we're female and it's meant like
no,
the things that we see. One, he cheated. Two, he obviously doesn't support her in the
no,
manner that she supports him. Like it's not an equal ratio of
no.
support. So no, I would agree that I lean towards Kathy's side of things because she's obviously trying to fix it because like you said and I'm still smiling like she's like, "See, I'm smiling and you're smiling. We can fix this. Of course, we have to work on it." Like
Yeah, I
she's
I feel
trying.
like I feel like too. There's just so much give and take, and
His is mostly take.
well, his is mostly take, but honestly, kind of hers too in a way, because again, I think it takes a really strong couple, a really strong support, a really strong, loving like togetherness, grounding, for you to be
Mhm.
able to go to Ohio in the middle of a possible issue.
Mhm.
And like you have to make choices for your relationship, you have to make choices for whatever, and like we always joke about like I always like I'll go to auditions every so often, purely for fun, around Richmond. And one of the things that I do before, like if I see an audition that I want to do, like obviously it was like Matilda, I was like I really want to be Miss Trunchbull, or certain things like that. Like I'll sit down with Daniel and I'll be like, these are the dates that they are providing.
Mhm.
If I get these roles, which probably not. This is the dates that I'm going to be gone. What? Let's
Is this
figure
an
it out now.
issue? Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he'll say yes or no, and either I'll go or I won't. But like even knowing that I'm not going to get a role, I still go in prepared with my husband together to be
Oh, of
like,
course.
hello, in
And
case it happens.
that's on communication. Like
Right. And so I feel like, and like he knows that like I would love to go to do these roles. I would love to be a part of this, but if it does not work out, oh well, like that's kind of how so
yeah.
I just ugh, I don't know that she should have gone to Ohio. I don't know at what point do you stop being like I'm going to be the next Broadway star and start being like
Yeah.
but I mean at the same time he's a highly successful author, so I mean she could go with the money like I don't need to bartend anymore.
Well, I think the reason why she like is hesitant because she sings kind of in an earlier song that she doesn't want to be the girl that's left behind.
Yeah.
So she wants her own like tangible thing to hang on to, but I think that makes her look jealous of his because she also wants to be successful.
Which
So,
there's
I
nothing
don't know.
wung with wanting to be successful or wanting to be a
No.
successful career, but I do think if you choose to be in a relationship, and maybe I personally think if you choose to be in a relationship, there has to be a
You
give
got
and
me.
take and some sort of ladder climbing, and everything needs to be laid out. I don't think everything was laid out. I think Jamie had a surefire kill his mom and all the babies to
Yeah.
get to the book, and she did not realize that that was what we were doing.
Yeah.
She thought he was a writer, and she's an actress, and floaty float float float, and I did no, no,
Well,
he
it's
was gonna
almost
get
like
his
he
kid.
just wanted her to be arm candy, too. Like he says he wants to be supporting, but like if you're cheating, why do you want your wife at these parties anyways? You know?
Because it looks good for an author to have a wife. It looks
Mm-hmm.
good for an author to have a, I don't know.
A supportive character. I don't know. Yeah,
Ugh.
and towards this is where when I first watched the movie where I got confused because she's singing Goodbye Until Tomorrow, right? So
Yeah,
when I first watched it, I was thinking he's singing I could never rescue you while he's writing her that he's leaving her. And she's singing Goodbye Until Tomorrow and I'm like she's thinking that
that they're
she's telling
great.
him goodbye and that they're awesome and then it was later that I realized because that kind of hurt me even more like she's like we're good I'll see you but I'm not telling you goodbye because I'm going to see you tomorrow,
Yeah,
whereas that's really like it was the song after their first date
yeah. Which I
and
think
then
is established well in the movie, but it's not. I would love to see this in my little cozy blacked out theater, because I don't know how well that would translate or establish. I would love to know. I would love to see how it translates and establish, because she would be by herself completely. Whereas in this, they were in their clothes. She was at her old apartment. Like there were cues
mhm,
visually.
yeah,
Whereas, you know,
yeah,
but overall, I think the music was really good. I give the music a 7. I enjoyed it.
yeah, I did it gets stuck in my head. Well,
Yeah.
and one more thing about the ending. Did you
Oh,
notice, like, she says goodbye until tomorrow, but Jamie just says goodbye?
yeah.
I was like,
Mm.
and then that's where you get a full circle of, I'm still hurting.
Mm.
So sad.
I think I give it like a 7. I think I overall give it like a 5.
The
Um,
songs, I give like a 7. Like the songs themselves. The the overall, yeah, like a 5.5, 6.
mhm.
Like it's not bad. I would probably watch it again or at least listen to the soundtrack because you
I
don't
will
really have
listen
to
to the
watch it.
soundtrack. Yeah.
The soundtrack goes in the order of like they don't really talk anyways, so
Yeah. I don't know that I would sit down and watch it again, but I would
yeah.
listen.
I would listen. So the top songs that I highlighted were "Still Hurting,"
Mhm.
"See I'm Smiling,"
Mhm.
um, the what is it?
I like Do
Where'd it
Better
go?
or
"Do
Be Better.
Better," and then why didn't I highlight this one? I could do better. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that one. It was cute.
She
And then
did
the
like a
ones that
little
I was
riff,
like,
and I was like, Anna, like there was like a riff in there that she did, and I was like, Anna, oh, oh, you heard I was talking smack, oh,
yeah, I can do better than that. And then the ones that I was like, want to punch in the face is obviously Jamie's. If I didn't believe in you, and then nobody needs to know. I was like, ugh,
I didn't.
punch you in the face.
I feel almost bad for being so anti Jamie, because I'm like, it's male versus female. Of course, no, it's not. It's this really crappy guy, and
But
this.
we would have if it were role reversed, like if it were Jamie in Kathy's shoes and he was the male and it was Kathy that was the
Oh
like
yeah,
we would have leaned toward Jamie. Like if Kathy was
yeah,
cheating, if Kathy was the narcissist, like
yeah.
so
Ooh,
I
a
think yeah.
narcissist. You threw out a big word. You think he's a narc?
I think he has narcissist tendencies for sure because I mean, he was gaslighting her almost
Yeah,
in the
the believing you.
yeah, if I didn't believe in you song.
Uh,
So I definitely think he has tendencies and was throwing out a lot of red flags.
Poof. Oh, the flags were so red. The flags were so red. So, we're going to be talking about White Christmas next time for our Christmas episode. But also, we're just still not going to do the thing because we watched Waitress this weekend. Or I
Yes.
watched it last night.
I get to
You're
see it
watching
tomorrow.
it tomorrow.
Yes.
The Pro Shot of Waitress is out for the weekend. And so we are going to talk about that in 2 episodes. Episode 14.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
Which,
It's exciting.
bring tissues.
To both, honestly.
Bring tissues to Waitress. Um,
I'm going to have to bring, like I told you last time, I'm going to have to bring tissues to White Christmas, but my mom's not going to be able to listen to that episode whatsoever.
oh, Susie. We love Susie.
Yes, but
Um,
it's exciting.
well, yeah. So that's
But
the
we have some
plan.
news, people. We have some news. We now have an Instagram.
Instagram.
So instead of putting like all the visuals on the video,
Oh
if you
yeah.
watch us on YouTube, it has caused kind of a problem with uploading very large files into the cloud and getting it uploaded in a good amount of time. So we decided to have an Instagram where we can put either like our favorite looks, some interesting things that we saw in the movie, or just little tidbits about ourselves. Like the last post, I think, was us in New York forever ago.
Yeah, oh my gosh, we was babies.
It was what? Did I say 2013?
2014.
2014?
Yeah.
One of those? Yeah. It's Baby Samara and Emily if you want to go see us in New York. Which we need to go back, by the way. That would be
We do.
fun.
And we need to go back because we got grown up money now. We can
We
go
got
see
grown up
Sean.
money. We can go see a grown up show and then do a We Saw This Together show.
Yeah, buddy.
But
We
yeah,
need to plan that.
we do. That'd
Yep.
be fun.
So
But
follow us
if
on
you,
Instagram.
yeah, it's is it one of my faves podcasts on Instagram? Is that what it is?
I believe. Oh, sorry. I was watching TikTok. Uh, one of my faves pod.
One of my faves pod on
Yeah,
Instagram.
so follow us on Instagram at one of my faves pod. It's the same logo that we have that was designed by our beautiful Emily. Um, but yeah, so follow us there for any of the looks that we talk about. Speaking of, I posted the picture of obviously our favorites from Gentlemen Prefer Blonde, episode 9. We're both Dorothy's coats. And upon looking for Dorothy's coats pictures, I found the pattern.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
So
So
if we
I
have any
think,
seamstress friends, you can send it to them and they can make it for us.
well, I also know I do dabble. So I'm a part of a group on Facebook, and I'm going to ask them realistically, what are the chances I can do this? And unrealistically, what are the chances I can pay one of you to do this for me? But
Right.
I'm super excited. I found the pattern. So, oh, happy day.
Well,
I
if
might be getting us a
they
couple.
want to make you one and then make me one too.
Make you the blue one, and I'll have the yellow
Yes.
one. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
So, anyway, follow us on Instagram, one of my faves pod. Email us at oneofmyfaves@gmail.com.
Continue to
Tell me
listen
if
to
you
us or watch us on YouTube. You know, that's
Yes.
one of my favorites podcasts.
Yay! So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time for White Christmas.
Yay!
Love it. I can eat my Chex Mix now.